Hello. Thank you for clicking and inviting me to share a little bit of time with you. I am feeling pretty invigorated right about now. I've had a pretty productive day. I got to get up, get out, go walking. The walk didn't quite go as expected. Okay, Lord. Oh, thank God for reverse lights. Y'all, it was a dead deer behind my car. Child, I can't even see it in the rearview mirror. Boy, me. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. That is, yeah, that's dead. And, first I'm looking around like, what happened? Did a hunter shoot it or whatever? From what I could glimpse and see as I very quietly walked to my car, I'm thinking I'm going to see this mass puddle of blood or whatever. And then tell me, why am I freaked out? Why would something dead scare me? Like, logically, that makes no whatsoever sense. But I promise you, my heart was beating faster when I saw that dead deer than it did the whole time I was walking. It's crazy. And so, like, the way it works for me around my neighborhood, we have sidewalks, and then there are, areas where we don't have sidewalks, and then they continue again, which is very strange. So I have to drive to a school. Well, I don't have to, but I choose to drive to a school, park there, and then go walking here. But sure enough, I park, and as I'm coming back to my car, I see that dead deer. Then I start wondering, oh my goodness, was it running and then it hit my car? Oh, there's a big old dent in my car. I promise you I didn't check that dent while I was there though. I waited until I came my tail all the way home and then checked the dent because like I said, I'm scared. Why? I do not know. But I just thought, if I go and peek around to see if it's bleeding or if it hit my car, it's gonna have that one last like death kick or something. That would just scare the life out of me. So no, I didn't check. And I'm in the car, I'm all discombobulated. I think I said something about my reverse lights. What I meant was my rear camera. I said my rear view mirror. What I meant was my side mirror. Because once I got in the car, I really couldn't see it anymore. I couldn't see it in any of the mirrors because it was just that much behind my car. And I had to be careful of how I navigated out of there in order to miss it. Because y'all, if I would have felt that boom, boom of running over that deer, oh, I'd have died. I would have died. But yeah, that was crazy. What else did I do? Oh, I came home and I did laundry. I'm proud of me because usually after walking, I never really know how that's gonna go. I might need to lay back down. I might feel invigorated and ready to go. So as it turned out, this time I was invigorated and ready to go, which is why I do not make my bed up before I go walking. Like if I'm working or I know that I'm about to be out for the day, yeah, then I'll make my bed up. But as far as, oh, I'm getting ready to go walk, let me make my bed up first. No, boo-boo, I shall don't. Judge me if you will. But once upon a time, I didn't make my bed up all day. For what? I'm getting ready to get right back in it. So the fact that I make my bed up daily, that's progress for me, baby. But yeah, I came back, I did my laundry, I made up my bed, I filmed an Amazon video. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Kimberly here. Thank you for stopping by. And as you can see from the thumbnail and title, I got a few Amazon finds. Since that's why you're here, let's not mess around and jump right on into it. And I apologize to you guys who regularly watch because you've seen some of the closet things already. But there are a couple of things that I wanted to point out that hopefully you haven't seen. One of them being the stool. Like the stool is a big deal for me. I may have touched on this gently in a previous video, but in my family there have been a lot of deaths, many of which were from cancer. And so once I heard that those squatter potties and stools like that prevent colon cancer and things like that, I just felt like, one, I wanted to get one, and I definitely wanted to talk about it, but I didn't go too far in about it in my Amazon video because I know for me, a lot of times when someone starts talking about cancer, if it's something for them that touches them, yeah, I want to listen, but just in general, it's hard for me. It's a touchy, triggering kind of subject for me because, like I said, my family's been so affected by it. I've had friends, like once upon a time, if you would have asked me 15, 20 years ago, if cancer had personally touched me, I would have been able to say no. But man, once that beast started touching, it does not know how to get its hands off. So yeah, the spinal poly and the stools, those are said, I'm not a doctor, I just played one on YouTube. But those are said to be very effective in fighting that type of cancer. I wish it fought all the cancers, because I'd be rubbing myself head to toe, breast, all everything, all the cancers. Let me just say that. But any one that you can get a leg up on, I say get a leg up on it. Like literally, that's funny. Okay, never mind. But anyway, the other thing that I thought was worth mentioning is that little pill pack. Like that pill box to me, it's something that, when I get ready to go on a trip, I'm like, oh, okay, let me get my aspirin, but just shaking it in there, and then I just leave it there, because everybody loves a vacation, right? Including on flow. So one of the things you would definitely want to keep packed is Midol. But yeah, I think that is a pretty good deal. But anyway, you've probably already seen it. Those who watch me genuinely watch me. And I thank you. I thank you so much for that. It's truly appreciated. And let's see, what else have I done today? I guess I cleaned up. Cleaned up after myself. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes, like when I very first started doing try-on hauls, it would look like a bomb had gone off. And it was easier for me to just close that door than it was to clean that mess. So I'm getting much better at it. Plus with my Amazon stuff, I didn't spread it too much out anyway. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I'm feeling like I had a productive day. Picked up a couple, 2-3 groceries and whatnot. So that's good. The grocery prices are just crazy to me. I also did some shopping for my mother. I can't even imagine what it's like for single parents just trying to, earn and do. Because as much as the grocery bills have gone up, the cost of living and salaries and things like that has not gone up. I mean, even on my job, they flat out put freezes on years of raises and things like that. You're supposed to increase a step every year. They're like, no, we're frozen this year. Money ain't there. That's just that. Well, I mean, money ain't there for a lot of folks. It ain't there for y'all. It ain't there for us. It's there for the grocery keepers, I guess. Even the farmers are saying they don't really see it because everything, even the cost for them is gonna. What else did I do? That's about it. But like I said, it's been pretty busy. This is probably going to be a pretty short video. I also wanted to get on, I've got my computer again, and I wanted to respond to an email that I saw. And I promise you on this one, I don't know that I am going to have the right response. So I already got my stool here. I'm ready to sit down. So let me say what I got to say, and I'll probably be wrong. But again, if you have better advice, please do lend it. This email starts with, hello, Auntie Kimberly. I know you said you don't really give relationship advice because you're divorced, but I think that the fact that you were once even married means you can help me with my issue. I'm 26 and have been dating a man for 4 years. He checks a lot of the boxes. He is a Christian, good looking, and a good provider. The problem is he's an only child, and that makes him a little selfish. He's gotten better about asking me if I want something when he stops to pick up food or things from the store, but I still have to ask him to do certain things for me, like wash my car too, pay attention when I'm talking, or let me walk ahead of him when we're in a restaurant or something. I've talked to several of my friends about this, and even my mother, but they all say that I'm being too picky. When I hear me describe my issue to them, and even in this email, I feel a little like I'm being ungrateful, but it just feels off to me. What do you think? Thank you, and her name. There's a lot in there to me. Again, y'all don't come to me with no, should I wear button-up pants or not? Like, I want the simple stuff. But in here, you're right. I really don't give relationship advice in general. The fact that I've been married really doesn't give me credibility in that at all. I would say more so the fact that I'm old as dirt, maybe. You get to be 40 some odd, which isn't old as dirt. I tease about that. But, you just kind of live through some life experiences. I'm telling you, I've said it just a little bit before. The strangest thing to me is, even on YouTube, I see a lot of relationship experts giving a lot of relationship advice, and not only have they never been married, don't even seem to have a girlfriend or a significant other in their life. I don't really don't really understand that. I'm a check the source kind of person, and those sources just don't ring right for me. But, I don't feel like I'm the person to come to for this either. But since you've come, do I have opinions? Yes, I do. So I can offer you my opinion, but by no means am I an expert on this. So I'm looking at this. You said you're 26 and you've been dating for 4 years. That's pretty significant. 26 is about the right age, I would say, that you could start considering marriage. But I honestly feel like I think studies and research show that your brain isn't even fully developed until you're in your late 20s. So sometimes you don't know who it is you're about to be yourself until you've gotten older. It's not going to kill you guys to wait just a little bit longer to get married and see if this proves true, especially since, where is that line? When I hear myself describe my issue to them, and even in this email, I feel a little like I'm being ungrateful, but it just feels off to me. I think those feelings, and it depends on what your religious background is. Like if you're a Christian, you might say, oh, my spirit doesn't sit right with me. If you're not, you might just say intuition, or I have a feeling. Whatever it is you want to call it, though, I say listen to it. Because you're describing certain sets of things, but you know what it's like to live day in, day out. You know how you feel day in and day out. That's not something we know. I credit you for the fact that you've talked to your friends and even your mother, but I'm kind of guessing that your friends are also women. My advice in this situation, my opinion, I should say, in this scenario would be to take him around guy friends, or take him around, better still, if you have a trustworthy uncle. You didn't mention your dad, but if your dad is in your life, I would kind of take him around him, because there's this thing that men are able to do with other men. They're able to read other men. They can tell you if this man has good intentions. If it's a good guy, you're asking, like, if I got a brother, my brother's a clown, my brother is well, even hoeing brothers, if they have whorish ways, even they can identify themselves. A lot of times people wonder, how do two gay men in a crowd find each other? Like, how out of all these men do you recognize your kind? So even if your brother is hoish, your hoish brother might recognize his kind. No, sis, that ain't for you, or whatever. And in this instance, you're not talking about him being, out in the streets in that way, but you're talking about him having selfish mannerisms and things like that. So a lot of times, the walking ahead, to me, that's not an only child thing. That's kind of a self-important kind of thing. I know a lot of people are using the term narc, but I think way before you say someone is a full-on narcissist, you might be able to say they're selfish, or they have tendencies, or you know what I mean? Because once you say narcissist, it's just like, to me, that's pretty darn extreme. But you did say he's an only child. He has those kind of selfish tendencies. It's odd to me that you had to teach him to ask you if you need things. Let me see. Here it says he's gotten better about asking me if I want something when he stops to pick up food or gets things from the store. It's kind of odd to me that you have to ask him that, because I just think in general, a man who really cares about his woman just kind of wants to provide for his woman in any capacity. Like, I've got friends who make much more than their husbands, but that doesn't stop their husband at all from being super chivalrous, or just looking to provide, or hey baby, I got that door for you, and escorting her in. So that to me hits a little bit differently than it may for some other people. But it doesn't sound like it's different from how it's hitting from you. I think that whatever you're saying, when you say it feels off, I think that's something you should listen to. You should look for that. You should also, as I mentioned, take him around other guy friends, see what they think, other guy relatives. People, when I say guy friends and such, I'm talking about men who have your best interest at heart, men who you don't have to question about whether or not they want the best for you. I wouldn't necessarily take him around an ex. The ex could want you back, although there are some exes who do have your best intentions at heart. Like, I don't know your world and your life like that, so it makes it a little bit harder for me to tell you which men, but I'm telling you some men. I would listen to them. A lot of our girlfriends, although well-intentioned, sometimes have their own biases and their own ideas of what they would want. They may or may not be single, and they may be single thinking, girl, I would hold on to him regardless. I've seen a lot of women tolerate a lot of things from just any old kind of man that I just find strange. But yeah, I would take him around people that I think are important. I love that he checks all the boxes, but I'm not sure you dug into the character of a guy. And I'm kind of weird in that way. You mentioned that he was good looking. Why can't I find it quickly? Let me see. You said he checked a lot of the boxes. There we go. He is a Christian. That matters. He's good looking, yeah, and a good provider. Listen, as long as I got me, I'm never gonna go hungry. Do I want a broke man to pull up to the table? Absolutely not. But yeah, the Christian part, the good looking, I don't know. I would have liked to hear other characteristics such as he's open, he's honest, he's forthcoming, he's, other things that matter, to me. Yeah, the good looking, that's nice. The good provider, that's very nice. But a lot of people say they're a Christian. Do they really? Does he live like one? Like what makes you say that? Because a lot of people, yep, I'm a Christian, and then do whatever they do that kind of makes you wonder, really, is you though? I mean, is that what you lead with, or is that just part of who you say you are? Like, I don't know how much weight that being a Christian carries for you. But again, I say if something feels off, you're 26, you don't have to rush into marriage. Take your time, make sure that it flushes out. Because one of the biggest things for me that I think are important is that feeling of security and that feeling of calmness. There's an Anita Baker song where she sings, "And my weary mind is rested. And my weary mind is rested. And I feel as if my home is in your arms. And I feel as if my home is in your arms." But that to me is significant. That lyric, that verse rather, describes a lot of how I feel a relationship should be. You should have this sense of calm, this peace when that person is around. And the fact that you feel a little angst or the fact that something feels off means that quite possibly something is off. I'm not saying that anyone is going to be perfect in every single aspect, but at least you should have that sense of calm and that sense of security. And it doesn't sound like you do. So again, I'm not giving you advice. I'm giving you my opinion. And in my opinion, it would not hurt you to take him around other men who are concerned about your well-being. It would not hurt you to wait just a little bit while longer if you guys are planning to get married. It would not hurt you to wait for that sense of calm and security. All right, so I hope I said something that helped. Again, I'm going to ask other aunties if you guys have other opinions to go ahead and chime in and help me with this, because this is not my realm. Listen, I'm not sure why people are coming to me with this. Like I've said before, I've lived quite a few lifetimes, but I ain't even told y'all some of this stuff. And probably if I did, y'all be like, "Oh, heifer, probably not you. You're probably not the one to be advising me." Because, man, in my younger days, I've had my times of foolishness and craziness. I'll never forget my very first love. My first love was my first everything, right? And so I put up with craziness. Like, it would be a matter of, about what time are you leaving your friend's house? Like, if I remember telling him once that I was at a friend's house. He was like, "What time are you leaving your friend's house?" And I said, "I'll probably leave about 9:20. "Oh, okay." And she stays out in Grandview, which is a suburb of here. Yeah. So that should take you about, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 minutes. All right, I'll talk to you later. 26 minutes later, he calling me on my home phone because I didn't have a cell phone at the time. But back then, I was like, he cared about me so much, girl. He looking out for me so much. I thought that right up until the time when he showed me it was a little bit more than just caring for me. So I feel like I say all that, and I'll probably go into that story another time, but I say that to say that sometimes you get these little pebbles, these, little rocks, nuggets of what that person is. Nuggets of insight is what I really call them. So you get those, and then you don't pay attention, and next thing you know, God throwing bricks upside your head so you finally pay attention. If not, collapsing the whole brick wall against you. So in this manner, if you've got a nugget or two, your friends and your mother, not even your mother, who does have your best interests at heart, not even these people are around you 24/7. Not even these people are the men that can flush out other men and get that sense of what other men have. So, keep looking until your soul is at peace with this man. And when that happens, that's when I feel like you're going to know, yeah, okay, everything's good here. You're still going to have other issues and problems. He still may not put the toilet lid down, or, he might put the toilet paper under and you like it over. You're still going to have those things, but you need that sense of peace. That much I will say. And with that said, on this busy little day here, I am going to end the vlog, stop by, see my mother, give her these hot dogs I've been baking and all of that. And I will talk to you ladies later. Until then, take care.